welcome back. As you guys can see, the El Camino made it home from Ugly Dragway, the Bay City Rollers race, unscathed, still holding good oil pressure, ran what we expected. Could have ran a little faster, but I was happy with it. We were getting closer. This video here, I'm going to be ripping the whole top end apart. The carbs coming off, the nitrous plates coming off, the distributors coming off are out, the plugs are all coming out of it, the steering shaft's coming out of it, the valve covers are coming off. I'm going to go through and reset my rockers again, and we got some work to do before we go back in 2 weeks. Like I said on the last video, I want to make sure the tune is 100% perfect, and I believe the carburetor is spot on. As you guys can see in the video, when we were in the tower lane, there was no bog at all. It left. I actually think it pulled the wheel up, because when the car left, it kind of moved to the right towards the barrier, or the Jersey barrier where the timing system is, and I had to bring it back when we were racing that Fox body, but it ran good. It ran real good. So, but there's a couple things I wanted to change out that we're going to do on this video. So this video is pretty much just going to be me tearing it down, going through the valve train. We're going to be taking the distributor out. I talked to a few gentlemen at the racetrack, and they asked me if I'm running a mechanical curve in the distributor, and I told them, yeah, because I like to drive it on the street. And he said, you can drive a locked out distributor on the street. You know, especially with this box that we got, this Digital 6 Plus MSD box, this automatically, on startup, pulls 20 degrees of timing until it sees like 500 RPM, and then it kicks back up into the regular timing. So by us locking that distributor completely out, taking all the advanced weights, all the bushings, all the springs, everything out of it, completely locking it out, is not going to hurt it. So that's what we're going to do. But that's going to be a separate video. This video is basically a teardown video, and I want to kind of go over a couple things as we're going. We're going to check the plugs, see how happy they were. I got my table here, and I wrote with permanent marker 135724668. So as I pull the plugs, I'm going to set them there, and we're going to go through and check each plug together on this video. And I'm going to probably be switching out nitrous jets. Buddy Dave of mine told me that, you know, when Nitrous Express gives you a chart, they want it rich, you know, just for safety, so you don't go and blow up your car immediately. So I've been doing my homework on this nitrous stuff quite a bit lately, guys. So I think I can drop 6 numbers on the fuel side, and we'll be safe. And then if it, you know, we can bring the fuel pressure up on the regulator if we need to add a little bit more fuel. If it looks a little too lean, then we can start playing with the regulator to add more fuel on that jet, if that makes any kind of sense. But we'll go over that once we get into it. I'll show you the numbers from the chart and everything like that. And we had a great time, but we got 2 weeks to get the ladder bars welded up. And speaking of ladder bars, you know, I kind of was leaving soft off the line because I didn't want it to twist in that housing on the ladder bar. The ladder bars are designed to work, you know, when you hook, all the pressure ain't right there on the rear. That's why your ladder bars are so long. It puts pressure to the middle of the car. And with them welds being broken, the rear end can spin in there, and they ain't doing you a bit of good. I did tighten the nuts up like I told you on the last video, but they're welded, you know, they got them little 1-inch spot welds on the housing of the rear end for a reason. So that's an issue we have to get done for sure. But we got to pull the steering shaft out, carburetor, nitrous plate, valve covers, distributor. So that's what we're going to do on this video, is get everything tore apart. And I'll show you guys as we go on the plugs what they look like, where we're at for tune. And you know, we did drive it on the trailer and back from the end of the track, so they might look a little darker than what they actually are. I actually should have pulled over at the end of the track, shut it off, and then pulled the plug and then put another plug in it and drove up, but I didn't, so that's my fault. But anyways, guys, I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse, and we're going to start ripping and tearing, getting this thing ready for 2 weeks. Dave from Dave's Collision's taking a 69 GTO. Dave from Mr. 65 Elky Dave, I call him. He's got that 65 El Camino with the 6.0 that runs damn good. He's going. Hopefully our buddies over at Outlaw Profanity Garage, Sean, Kevin, and Heather, they can bring their Monte Carlo and their S10 to go have fun. And yeah, we're definitely going to spray it this next time. And I am going to show you guys time slips. And one more thing I had a comment about was, how was the drive shaft in the wheels? Drive shaft seemed perfect. As you guys could see in the one clip of me warming the car up, taking it down to the end of the track, coming back, doing a loop on the last video, and then taking it back down, I was warming the rear end fluid up, but I was also having Jenny check for the wobble in the wheels, and she said they look perfect. So there's no bent wheels on it. Drive shaft and changing the bushing in the output shaft on the trans. This thing went out the other end of the track like butter. Felt like a Sunday drive. I mean, it was perfectly smooth. So that issue, good to go. We are gonna have to get a new set of tires next year before, you know, if we decide to take this and the Blazer. The Blazer, I'm still hoping will be done. I don't see why it shouldn't be. I just made a call into Jason at JW Race Cars for the stuff that he's got to do, change the windshield, set the pinion angle, and now that it's got the weight on the front end, he's going to finish setting the toe, the caster, the camber, and the toe of the wheels, because the driver's side wheel looks like it's a little kicked out at the top, so he's going to set all that stuff up with all this laser stuff and get it as close as possible. So he's pretty good at that stuff. So, but that answers that question, the vibration. The only issue we have left, like I just said in the last clip, we have to get the ladder bars welded up. But other than that, 100% money. We're good to go. Alrighty, mission complete on Teardown. We got everything tore down that we needed to get tore down. Which this video here is going to be kind of just a short teardown video, like I told you in the beginning. We're going to do a separate video on locking out the distributor. We got the distributor out. There's some people out there that probably don't know how to actually go do the process of locking a distributor out. So on the next video, we're going to be locking out the distributor, and we're going to go through and reset all the valve train. One thing you guys got to know on these valve trains too, you always want to leave your stud girdles on when you're setting your valve lash, because if you don't, time you get your lash set at what you want, you go to put your stud girdle on, it's going to either tighten up or loosen up time you tighten up your center nut here. So the best thing to do is just loosen up your center nut and then loosen up your Allen head inside here, back it out, and then make your adjustments. And when you're running aluminum head on a cast iron block, you don't want to go, say if you have your cam card calls for 16 thousandths. So you don't want to set that at 16 thousandths cold. You want to go back to at least 12. Time everything heats up, it's going to grow because it has the aluminum head on a cast iron block. Just a FYI. But we'll go through the next video. We'll go through step by step on setting solid roller camshaft, valve lash one by one, locking out the distributor. The plugs, you can see that. Let me see if I can focus. Come on, focus. We got cocoa brown. I'm not real happy with, I mean, they're cocoa brown on the straps. There's a couple of them that's a little darker. That's just anti-seize on that strap, guys. As you can see, I got it all over my finger now. The Tin Man stuff. I mean, they're not terrible, but like I told you before, when we were at US 131, it was lean, and then I added, and I thought I could use a couple more, so I think I went a little bit too far, so I might have to drop down a couple jet sizes, run it on NA a couple times before we spray it. But these plugs are not going back in. We are going to be running the NGK 8s, the 5671s, A-8s. So that's a good nitrous plug. They're a non-projected tip plug, so that's going to be a good deal there. I still think that's a little cold for what that are, you know, what it is. The AFR, or the Autolite AR 3924s, according to a chart that my buddy Glenn Codis sent, is only a number 5 on the NGK chart. So by me going with the 8, so that's 6, 7, 8, that's still three steps colder. And I was talking to Elky Dave that has that 65 El Camino with the 6.0 in it, and he's running 7s, and he has no trouble at all. So I might buy one more set of NGK 7s and try them. I'm going to try the 8s first. If it follows them out or looks too rich, you know, like the heat range ain't right, then I'll go ahead and slap the 7s in it. But you know, he's been spraying his. I haven't sprayed this yet, so I kind of go by what people have with their experience. But anyways, guys, we got, like I said, we got the carburetor off. I might drop back down 2 jet sizes just because of the plugs, how they looked. I know I did drive from the end of the track up to the pits and then onto the trailer and home. Which was my stupid mistake. But, you know, there's a couple that look real decent as far as the cocoa brown goes. And then there's number 2 over here, looks pretty sooty. So usually 1 and 2 are pretty close together on their tune. That don't look bad. There's no oil on any of them. It's all dry. But, yeah. My mistake. When you're tuning a car out of track, you put a dummy plug in it, or 2 dummy plugs, one in number 1 cylinder, one in number 2 cylinder. You run it out the back door, you shut it off, you coast into the turnaround. You bring 2 plugs with you, change them out real quick, head back to the pits, and then analyze your plugs. That was my stupid mistake. But on the street and at 131, I had it close, and I only went up 2 jet sizes. So, well, actually 3 jet sizes. I jetted it up once here too. So I would have to go back at least 2 jet sizes to be in the happy zone, I think. But And it ain't like we can take it out on the street and do some test and tune with it being open headers. But we'll get her figured out. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Like I said, next video we'll be doing, we'll do a video on locking out the distributor and setting valve train and getting this thing back together with the nitrous plugs and getting it ready to go probably in 2 weeks. But until then, I really appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. All right, bye-bye.